26th of March, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Okay, so let's see. The last time we learned this Gemora in Bava Metzia was not yesterday, not the day before, certainly not on Shabbos. Not on
No, you did the
Erev
day
Shabbos
before.
either.
You did it the day before. You didn't do it yesterday. You did it the day before.
Yeah, okay.
On
All
Sunday
right.
we had some.
Alan, if you were talking to us, couldn't hear you. Guess why?
Alan, you're muted.
Let's see. Oh yeah, we're trying to explain. We were trying to explain why we need both of these cases. Right. Okay. So right. Okay, so did we finish up to the finish the Gemara with the Rashi? Oh yeah, that's right. We started this over here. The Gemara asked the question. Meko chamem kar v'lekse zuzi miman nokat. And we answered that question. So maybe we'll start from there.
Yeah, we read the tzricha.
Yeah, that was before the. Yeah. Okay, so we don't have to go back to the sricha, right?
Right.
So we'll go from Mekach Omemchar Velekse Zuze Miman Nokat. This could be found on about 8 lines from the top of the page. The first word in the line is Ema.
On page 2B1, right-hand column, the second paragraph, the Gemora asks.
Okay, everybody got the place?
Top of the page.
Yeah, Alan, you got the place?
I think so. Top of the
Okay.
page, Q1B. The Gemara asks,
Yeah.
me check, Mima Core. Can the Mishnah be discussing a case of buying and selling? Why would the Mishnah's ruling apply in that case? Means men are on no cap. Let's simply see from whom the seller took the money. The Gemara answers, Lo si richor. No, the Mishnah's ruling is needed in the case of sale. The nor kat mi ka nor who, where the seller accepted payment from both litigants. Mikad, Tay, from one of them accepted the payment willingly. Umekad, Baal, or Hey, and from the other, he accepted the payment unwillingly. For example, one of the two forced the money upon him. Below you, nor me who me da, but tay who me who, but all Bava, and we do not know who is the one from whom he is willingly accepted, and who is the one from whom he is unwillingly accepted. Since we have no way of determining which of the two is telling the truth, they divide the cloak under oath. The Gemara-
Wow.
Okay.
So, okay.
So why don't we just
Um,
ask the seller which one he did, which one was which?
This is already a day or two ago. He already forgot.
Well, you know what? I had something to drink yesterday.
Oh, you could relate to forgetting. Okay.
Uh,
What else? I was bothered by the fact that seemed to come out from the way we were explaining the sricha that we're prepared to give a shvua and divide the disputed property in the event that each one of them has an honest a possibility that he really believes that he's entitled to something. But if he knows that he's a cheat and he knows that he's just taking advantage and he knows he doesn't really deserve anything, so we're not going to do that. It seems to me over here, the second guy, if he realizes that the guy already sold it, why isn't he the cheat? Why would we give him a shvua? I don't know. Maybe Tosus asked that question. I see there's a Tosus over here.
Are you here?
Oh, actually, Tosus asked Lou's question. Perish Rashi, Misha Lamocher. Avgav de Eina Mocher, Neman, Echol Biodo, Kede Isa Basar Yuchsin, Hanimili ben Anakim Mitravayu. Anakim Michad, Neman. Uh-huh. Okay. Did we read the Rashis over here on this Gemara? I don't think so. We need to read them.
Read one of them.
Let's say Nuze Miman Nokat. Oh, Rashi. Let's see what Rashi says over here. Yeah, we
Lamaze Zehei Mama Naka. We'll see from which one the money was taken. Okay.
So how are we going to do that? How are we going to find out from whom the money was? Who took the money? Okay.
We're going to ask the seller.
Oh,
The Mev. Who'd you get the money from?
okay. So that's the Gemara's question, like Lou was saying.
Tanya, because it was bought in Kedushin of Ayin, I think that's Gimel base. Neman Baal Hamekach. We can trust the one who's making the deal. Lomar to say to this v'zacharti, and I will, get it. It's mine. Lo macharti, and to him I didn't sell it. So you ask him, and he's going to tell you which one he gave it, which one he sold it to. God, this is a very long run. Even though what the Messiah that it ends.
Yeah, even though the Gemara ends over there, the conclusion of the Gemara is the Gemara said base Dalet Aleph, Bamed Devorim Amurim.
Okay, what case are we dealing with?
Yeah.
Shemekacho b'yado, that the deal was in his hand. About ein mekacho b'yado, einu neman. But if the deal is not in his hand, he's not believed. Shalonatan, because he didn't give Lev, he didn't give any thought to the matter. Call kach so much. Leo to merit it.
To remember
from the other one. Mishneim. No, Shneim. From one, because the other one, for both of them, because we'll go back, Acharov, the Pisuch Damim. Pisuch is a break, though, of the money.
Pisuch Damim. Where's no Pisuch? That's the Pisuch is like that's the deal that they cut. Pasak, they cut the deal for this price, in other words. So that was the price of the item. They agreed upon a price, and now it's that's the okay. So what did he say so far? It's a long Rashi over here. He said, look, what the Gemora is saying over here, let's see who let's say Zuze Miman Nakat. Let's go and see, says the Gemora. Zuze, the money, Miman Nakat. Who was it take? Who did he take it from? Nakat, he took it. Miman, from who? From who did he take it? From who did the mocher take it from? From who did the seller take the money from? If the seller took money from this one and he didn't take money from that one, so then that's the answer. Who did he sell it to? And if so then this is not a question. This is not a case of we don't know who he sold it to. And therefore, we needed in the Mishnah to say that they got to make a shvua and we'll divide it because we don't know who to give it to. We do know who to give it to. Just find out who the seller got the money from. Nisha les amocher mi kibel demeha. Let's ask the mocher. Who did he receive the money for the item from? The Sanya b'kedushin. We learned the Gemara kedushin. Them on bala mekach loymar. Because the Bala Mekach is the Bala Mekach, the master of the transaction, that's referring to the seller. He is Neman, he's believed. Loimot to say, Lezemachati. To this one I made the deal with. I sold it to him. Lezelomacharti. And this one I did not make a deal to sell it to him. Then Rashi says, but one second. There's a proviso in that Gemora, Afugav, the Messiah, even though the Gemora concludes over there, the Medivum Amurim, in which case do we say that the Mocher is believed? Shemekcho biyodo, that the Mekach is in his hand. Now here, the Mekach is referring to the item that was the item that was going to be sold. That's what it means, the Mekach. Right. Lost my place. Aval, but ein mekcho biyado. If the item in this dispute is not in his hands anymore, he already gave it out to whoever he gave it out to. Eino neman. Then he will not be neman. He will not be believed in that case, where he doesn't have the mekach in his hand. What's the difference whether he has it in his hand or not? Rashi explains, Shalo nosan leiv ledavar kolkach lios zachor me'achash shneim chazru acharuv b'pisuk demeha. Well, what did he say over here? Because he didn't give heart to the matter, the seller, kolkach so much, Leos Zachor, to remember who it was that he sold the item to, between these two people who are disputing. Because both of them were going after him with the piece of domeha, with the agreed upon price that he wanted for the item. Do we get farther than that?
Wait, no, we got more. We stopped. We stopped there, and then there's we have more Rashi. That's a long Rashi. We got more to finish in that Rashi.
Okay, so far we got that Rashi told us he's going to be believed, the mocher, only if he still has the item in his possession. But if he doesn't have the item in his possession, then he's not believed anymore to say who he sold it to. Okay. Now let's continue. Ha'ukimna, Hasam.
The ha'akimna, therefore it is established. Let me get where we were up to with the established thing. The ha'akimna established. Mechatam there, the nakat that we chose, Zuze Treo, that he took money from both of them. Michad Midato, one with his knowledge, Michad Baal Kocho, one that he was forced to do, that they would call unwittingly. The Kavan, since the low Aleha Rimya wasn't on him any deceit. So to
it wasn't on him any
trickery. Isn't that
Masude to testify?
What's a Ramaya? Ramaya is though. What's Ramaya?
Ramya is over here doesn't mean a Ramaya. It means Ramya that the matter was put upon him, placed upon him, thrown upon him.
So to testify, low dak kuli. It's not easy at all. Hard liot needs hard to be careful. Me shall go.
Oh, so Rashi's now, yeah.
High that one is of his knowledge. The high, but the he's forced to. Of our heche here, the low key bill the mayor. If he only got the money from one, midacher the chir lay. What is the chir?
Remember, the Dalit switches for a Zion.
So that means he merited.
No, to remember.
He remembered the one. The one
he certainly remembered the one that if there's only one of them that gave him money, that he's certainly going to remember who gave him the money and who didn't. But Rashi's saying over here that we're talking over here, the Gemora over there, I guess the Gemora over there is going on is interpreting the Mishnah that we've got in front of us here in Bava Metzia. And I guess that's what Rashi was referring to above, and he's saying that Ho Kimna Hasam, we established over there in that Gemara, that other Gemara over there, that is explaining our Mishnah over here, B'denokat Zuze Mitravayu, that he took money from two of them. Mechad midaite, one of them with his here daite doesn't mean with the knowledge, it means with his willingly. he willingly took the money from this person. And that's, of course, the person that he wanted to sell it to. Ba'al korcha. The base ayin chaf is a Rosh Tevis for Ba'al korche. That one he took the money. Yeah, he wasn't willing to take the money. The guy, somehow forced the money on him. So yeah, I'm thinking right now, it's not necessarily that the first one that gave him was the money was one that he wanted to sell it to either, because maybe the first guy that he made a deal with, he said, "Oh, I'm going to run home and get the money, and I'm going to come back to you right away." And maybe in the meantime, the second guy came and said, "Here's the money." He says, "No, I sold it already to somebody else." He says, "What do you mean you sold it to somebody else? Why is it still here? If in your shop, if you sold it to him?" He says, "No, he's going to come. He's going to bring me the money." He says, "No, but I've got the money here first. I'm entitled to buy this thing. He's not the one that's entitled to buy." So there was a whole siksuk over here. Perhaps I'm just imagining what could be that even it could be that the one that gave the money first was not the one that he wanted to sell it to. Anyway, so that's what the Gemora says over there. That really we're talking about in this case here in Bava Metzia, the Mishnah, that he took money from the two of them. He came into loy alei ramya de la sude. Now, Rashi says that since it doesn't devolve upon him to testify on the matter. He doesn't go into the how it is that we who says that and how do we know that and all that type of stuff. He just puts it down as a given. Since it's not on the mocher to testify about this matter. Lo duck kulihai lios niskar. So he wasn't so careful or exacting to remember exactly. Mishaholchu lefanov bilefanov from the point that they both left from his presence. Hey midaite hey bakorche. Which one of them it was that he willingly sold it to, and which was the one that he did not sell it to? So here Rashi's explaining that he didn't really remember, because he wasn't really paying attention, since it's a case where they both left, and it sounds like they both left with the chayfetz, and that's why both of them are holding on to it now when they come to the Beis Din. So at that point, maybe the reason why Rashi says he since it didn't devolve upon him to testify, because that's according to the Gemora that he said above in Kedushin, that says that if the mekach is not any longer in his possession, so then he's not believed.
But I'm a little confused. You were creating this scenario where the second guy comes and says, "Well, the first guy isn't here, so give it to me." So how does it happen that they're both there together?
Well, he's fighting with him still, and he shows up, and then they both give him the money and they grab it.
I see.
Well, all I was trying to do is because I thought that how is it that he doesn't remember the first guy and the second guy? Obviously, the first guy was the guy that he sold it to. So it's not so simple. Maybe he didn't agree to sell it to him and gave him the money, and then the second guy shows up afterwards and forces him to forces the money on him. That doesn't make any sense. He would have already given the item to the first person. There's no item for the second person to buy. So we also have to. What?
I said, oh yeah, that makes sense. It has to be that the first one's the one that he didn't agree, because if he agreed, he would have given it to him.
Well, I mean, maybe he agreed to sell it to him, but the guy said, "Oh, I'm going to run home and give you the money." So that's not so maybe he did agree. He agreed to him, but the item is still there because he didn't give him the money yet.
Right.
So just trying to figure out a case of how it is that they both got their hands on this item.
But it's still kind of hard to understand how it is he doesn't remember who's who.
Well, that's what Rashi's explaining over here. That from the time that they both leave, and he figures he's finished with this thing here now. This item, he's finished with it. They both left the item. I don't have the item anymore. And Rashi says he's not required to. He's not going to be called upon to testify in this matter. So he doesn't remember. What's bothering me is that if he's not going to be called to testify in the matter, so then that's the end of the story. Who cares whether he remembers or not? He's not called. He's not going to be called. It's.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. I was just about to ask you that.
Is he allowed to testify? He's not allowed to testify. I don't know what exactly Rashi means. It's not Rabbi Aleh. Maybe Rashi means that. Yeah, well, okay, we'll keep it in mind. We'll have to keep it in mind. But you see, Rashi's okay. So the end of the Rashi was aval heicha lo kibel damim. So that Rashi described the scenario where he received money from both of them, and therefore Rashi was explaining that he doesn't remember. And so therefore, it sounds like we're not going to be able to ask him, and therefore we've got our case. But I don't know. I mean, at this point, the Gemora is just in the first step. The first step is the Gemora is asking. Let's ask. Let's find out who he got the money from. But the Gemora answered that already and said no. He took money from both of them. And then if you'll say okay, but maybe we should still ask the mocher who did he intend to sell it to, and then on that the Gemora said he doesn't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't, and we don't know. The Gemora says, and we don't know who he sold it to willingly and who he was forced to sell it to. And on that, we'll have the question. So ask the mocher. He knows who he sold it to. So Rashi's explaining he also forgot at this point. He doesn't put on his mind so much to remember, because as far as he's concerned, the deal is finished. He got his money. He gave out the item, and that's the end of the story, I think. Except if he got money from both of them, wouldn't he know that the story's not going to be over? I don't know.
Oh, I have a footnote. As the Gemora in Kedushin explains, when the seller receives money from two parties and no longer has the sold object in his possession, the court cannot rely on his testimony as to which of the two he really meant to sell the item. Even if the seller asserts that he remembers the matter clearly, the special reliance on the seller's testimony regarding the cloak that he no longer has is limited to where he received money from only one of the parties. Only then do we assume that he has a clear recollection of the matter, according to Rashi. However, if the seller still has the disputed item in his possession, we rely on his recollection even when he has received money from both parties, since the seller, realizing that it will be his duty to testify about the status of the disputed item in his possession, makes sure to keep the facts clearly in mind.
Maybe what Rashi is doing is explaining, giving a reason why it is that he's not Neman if he doesn't have the item in his possession.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. But Rashi said, "Kaven de lo aleha ramya la sude." What does that mean? Since it's not devolving upon him to testify, does that mean that we won't believe him?
There's another footnote here that says that he's only one witness. The credibility granted the seller is an exception to the normal rules of evidence, would prevent the court from relying on the testimony of a lone witness.
Yeah. Okay. We didn't get into that one yet. Or I didn't mention that. Okay.
But in some cases, the court does rely on it, according to Rashi. So if he has it, the court relies on his testimony, even though he's a sole witness. This is very unclear to me.
Okay. Let's see. Came the lo aleha ramya la sude lo doku lehai lios nizkar. Mishahalchu milafonov. Maybe that is no. Aber heicha the lo ikibel damim el michad vidkodakile. Okay, so without understanding this Rashi fully, but it seems like we're saying as follows: that the Gemora is asking, let's find out who he took the money from. So we're holding it at the stage where we don't know that it was he took money from both of them, and Rashi was just bringing this Gemora in Kedushin to say that as long as he has the cloak in his possession still, he's going to be believed. He'll be believed. So in other words, Rashi's explaining the Havamina of the Gemora. Who are we going to ask to find out who he took the money from? We're assuming that he only got money from one person, and we're assuming that the item is still in his possession. Because Rashi's pointing out, even if the item is not in his possession anymore, he's not believed.
Why do you think he only got money from one person? Doesn't it say clearly he got money from both of them?
That's in the answer.
Oh.
Be careful. We're talking in the Havamina. Rashi's explaining, right? This whole comment that Rashi is basing is going on the words in the Gemora where the Gemora said, "Belechse zuze miman nokat." That means the Gemora is saying, let's find out who he took the money from.
Right.
The money, he got it from one guy. That's what the Gemora thought. He took money. That's certainly a reasonable assumption for the Gemora to make, that he didn't take money from two guys for one item. So the Gemara is justified in saying that look, he must have only taken money from one guy. So let's ask him, who did he take the money from? On that, Rashi's saying, but according to the Gemara in Kedushin, we have to say that he's only going to be believed in the case where the cloak is still in his possession, because once it leaves his possession, he's not going to be Neman. He's not going to be Neman. But you're right. Rashi does mention the fact that the conclusion of the Gemara is that he took money from two guys. So it's a little bit confusing that Rashi is juggling over here between talking about the Gemara's question, explaining the Gemara's question, and then discussing the ramifications of what happens when he took money from both of them. So that's what's a bit confusing in the Rashi. I would have rather have Rashi discuss that separately, but Rashi didn't do that. So in any case, now you're going to see the next Rashi, the next Dibra Maskil, if we have any time. We don't have any time. The next Dibra Maskil, Rashi's is going on the Gemara's answer. The Gemara's answer was Lo tzricha the noket zuze mitravayu. No, we need this case in the Mishnah of Mekach Memkar, and because we're talking about a case where he took money from both of them.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
All right. Very good.
Have a great
We're
day.
getting
Bye. Thank you so much.
So see you later, Lou.
all the best,
Yes.
everybody.
I'll see you
Bye-bye.
before.
Bye,
Well,
Phil.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Bye, Roy. Bye, Alan, and bye, Lou.
Bye-bye.